Hello and welcome to Maths Cure's IGCSE Maths course. Today we're looking at Section A, Lesson 3, Types of Numbers. So, today's agenda. First of all, we're looking at what is an integer. Okay. Next, we'll look at rational and irrational numbers. Then we'll look at square numbers. Then we'll look at cube numbers. So, let's get started. So, what is an integer? An integer is another name for a whole number. It can be positive, negative, or zero. So we've got a test now. State if the following numbers are integers. So pause the video, have a go at it, and then resume the video when you're ready to go through the answers with me. Okay, so 10, is that an integer? Yes, it is, because it's a whole number. 1/2, so that is not an integer, because it's not a whole number. Pi is not an integer. -8 is an integer. 0 is an integer. So there's 3 out of 5 integers here. So now we're going to look at rational numbers. Rational numbers can be written as fractions. Rational numbers come in 3 types. So you have integers, fractions, and terminating or recurring decimals. So terminating decimal is a decimal that ends. A recurring decimal is a decimal that goes on forever but in a pattern. So here's a test. State if the following numbers are rational. So there's 3 numbers there. State if they're rational or not. You can use a calculator if you want to. So 3/4, that 3/4, that is a fraction. So that means it is rational. The root of 2. Well, so you might have needed to use your calculator here to put it in to find out if it could be written as a fraction, but no, it cannot, so it's irrational. So 50, that's just an integer, so that is a rational number too. So irrational numbers. Irrational numbers cannot be written as a fraction. They are never-ending, non-repeating decimals. Some square roots are irrational. So here's a test. So state if the following are irrational numbers. Okay, so pi. Pi is irrational because it's a never-ending, non-repeating decimal. Okay, root 2. That is also irrational. Root 4. Okay. So if you thought about this closely, root 4 is actually just 2. So that was a trick one. That is rational. Root 4 is just 2. So that was a trick one. So now we're going to look at square numbers. Okay, so here's a chart of perfect squares from 1 to 30. It'd be useful to learn from 1 squared to 12 squared. Okay, so let's take a moment to look at the squares of the numbers from 1 to 12 and try to learn them. You should already know most of them. Okay, so now we're going to look at some cube numbers. Cube numbers, so it'd be useful to know the first 10 here. So, thank you for watching. I hope you'll have good luck studying the cube numbers and square numbers. They're important to be able to know off by heart. And I hope you now understand the rational and irrational numbers. Thanks for watching.